This is the intro to section 1.4, measuring angles. Okay, our objective in this section is to find and compare measures of angles. Okay, so let's talk about what is an angle. An angle is formed by two rays with the same endpoint. Okay, the rays are the sides of the angle. The endpoint is the vertex of the angle. The vertex or the sharp point. You know, maybe you want to add that in there. This means sharp point of the angle. That's the vertex. Okay, it's made up of two rays. So as I go through here, and let's say I were to draw, this would be ray, in this case, call this ray AB. And then if I use the same endpoint and I drew another ray and said that this is ray AC. These two rays here, ray AC and ray AB, form an angle. Okay, so this is ray AB and ray AC, and they form an angle if they have the same endpoint. This right here is the angle. Okay, so you can name an angle three different ways. All right, you can name an angle by its vertex, one letter, as long as it's only one angle. And again, you might want to add that note in there. This is only for one angle. If it's two angles, you cannot name it with one letter. Okay. You can also name an angle with a point on each ray and the vertex. So, for example, angle BAC over here, as you look at the diagram, this is angle BAC or angle CAB. But you'll notice the red letter here in the middle, letter A, is always the vertex. The middle letter is always the vertex. Okay. Or you can name it with a number. Number 1, angle 1. In this case, the 1 is always going to be on the inside. Angle 1. Okay, so there's three ways. You can name it with a single letter. If it's only one angle, the vertex. You can name it with three letters. The vertex must be in the middle. Okay, or you can name it with a number. All right. So, let's take a look now here. It says when you name angles using 3 points, the vertex must go in the middle. The interior of an angle is the region containing all the points between the two sides of the angle. So the interior, in other words, is the inside of the angle. Okay, the interior here. It says the exterior of an angle is the region containing all the points outside. So this is the exterior outside of the angle. Okay. So one way to measure the size of an angle is in degrees. To indicate the measure of an angle with a lowercase m in front of the angle symbol. So in the diagram, the measure of angle A is 62 degrees. You would write this as the measure of angle A is equal to 62. That's what the little cursive M in the middle or in the beginning means. That's the measure of. Okay, you're going to only work in degrees as we're looking at this. Now, as you continue here, it says a circle has 360 degrees. So 1 degree is 1/360th of a circle. Okay, a protractor forms half a circle and measures from 0 to 180 degrees. So right now, the angles that you're going to see are going to measure anywhere from 0 to 180 degrees. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at these couple of examples here. Naming angles. What are two other names for angle 1? Well, if I outline angle 1 here, right here is angle 1. It's the left angle. It's not the whole thing. Okay, so if I want to name that, I could, since I have two angles here, I cannot use one letter. I must use three now because there are two angles, angle 1, angle 2. Okay, so as I look at this, angle 1, the vertex for angle 1 is the letter M. So I can use any 2 points and along with letter M, but M has to be in the middle. So I'm going to use angle JMK. And I'm also going to use and flip those K and J around, K, M, and J. Again, as you look at this, the vertex is M. That has to be in the middle. If I go J to M to K, there's my angle. Or if I go from K to M to J, there's angle 1. Okay, what are two other names for angle KML? Okay, KML is the right angle. Again, I cannot name this with one letter because there's two angles here. Okay, so KML. What are two other names for angle KML? Well, I got a number there, so I can name it angle 2. And I can also name it angle LMK. Again, the vertex is M, so it must be in the middle. Would it be correct to name any of the angles angle M? Okay, no, it would not, because there are multiple angles. There are more than one angle. If it was just one angle, absolutely, you could use the letter angle M, but not because, or because you cannot, because there are multiple angles there. All right, the next thing that we're going to talk about here is the types of angles that we have. There are 4 types of angles. Okay, many of you have seen all 4 of these before. We've got an acute angle. Okay, an acute angle is between 0 and 90 degrees. Okay, anywhere between 0 and 90. We've got right angles. Right angles are exactly 90 degrees. An obtuse angle is bigger than 90 and smaller than 180, so it's between 90 and 180. And then you have the straight angle, which we've seen this a little bit here when we were talking about lines. A straight angle is essentially a straight line, which means that the angle is 180 degrees. Okay, so these are the 4 types of angles. When they ask you to classify angles, that's what you're looking for. What type of angle is it? All right, postulate 1.7 talks about the protractor postulate. Okay, consider ray OB and a point A on one side of ray OB. Every ray of the form ray OA can be paired with 1-to-1, can be paired 1-to-1 with a real number from 0 to 180 degrees. Many of you have seen a protractor. You know how to work a protractor. Okay, if I want to start here, remember this is angle O. If I would start here and I were to measure angle O, I would start here at 0. In this case, since 0 is on the inside, I would start on the inside. I would follow it all the way to this point, and it looks like in this case, angle O is approximately 125 degrees. Okay. So again, many of you have used a protractor before. This is not anything that's really that new for you. Okay, the protractor postulate allows you to find the measure of an angle. Consider the diagram below. The measure of angle COD is the absolute value of the difference of the real pairs numbers. Now, this is really no different than finding the distance between two numbers on a number line. Okay, so when we do this here, okay, as we look at this example here of angle COD, we want to figure out the measure of angle COD. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 points, wherever this lands up, this point minus this point to get our answer. Or, as I do it this way, okay, I'm going to start with 0 right over here. Since C is closer to the left, I'm going to start over here at 0. So I'm going to measure to C, and if you measure to C, that's about 45 degrees. Okay, and what I want to do here is I want to be able to measure. Okay, I want to be able to measure how the distance between C and D. So if I started there, I'm going to start here again, and I'm going to go all the way to D now with the red. And if I go all the way to D, it looks about, it's past 145, so we'll say it's about 148 degrees. Okay. Now, remember, distance cannot be negative. It's the same concept when you're using a protractor. Okay. So in this case, if I were to take C minus D, I'd take 45 minus 148, and that would be negative 103. In this case, absolute value would mean there is 103 degrees between C and D. Or angle O is 103 degrees. Okay, 103 degrees. You essentially could take 148 minus 45 as well and get the exact same answer. Okay. All right, so what we're going to look at here now are some examples using the protractor. And it says, what are the measures of angle LKN, JKL, and JKN? And then classify. Tell me, is it acute, right, obtuse, or straight? All right, so let's take a look at angle LKN. Angle LKN. We start at L right here, and we're going to go to N. Okay, so essentially, since N is on the 0 over here, I'm just going to go from N, starting here at 0, I'm going to go all the way to the L. And if you look here, it looks like LKN gets to 145 degrees. Well, if it's 145 degrees, it's bigger than 90 and smaller than 180, so this is an obtuse angle. Okay, so to finish up here, what I want you to do is I want you to find the measure of angle JKL for me. Okay, JKL. And then I also want you to find the measure of angle JKN. And then classify those and finish those up for class for tomorrow. Also, don't forget to complete your WSQ. Okay, so this is section 1-4, part 1.